And so there are people who have done incredible work. Some would call them on the front line of these energy industry competition, and created great wealth for our state. But now as the price is down, the economic conditions, the numbers, so to speak, requires they be laid off or perhaps look for other work. And we realize that North Dakota has a shortage of people, working people, but in some cases they need to be retrained or have additional education. So the university system in the western part of the state can respond as a system or a subsystem of the larger 11 universities and colleges, and provide opportunities for people who are now unemployed or underemployed or just have time on their hands, and encourage them to stay in the state and begin their education. So we see this as a way to help them as people, individuals, to enhance their education, but also, depending on what courses they take, we've got lots of energy courses, 2-year programs at the Energy Center at Bismarck. We have an energy program at Minot, and of course Williston and Dickinson are much closer to the front line. That all of these together can provide opportunities to educate and help retain young talent here in the state.
So if somebody's in a position to, and they're kind of thinking that maybe they want to go on this route, what would be your best advice to them?
Well, part of this is an information campaign, right? Right now it's an information campaign to get the word out. As I've gone around the state, I talked to some wonderful, wonderful young people working right there in the oil patch. They had mastered their equipment, they knew the processes, they had passed fit for duty exams for 2 years running. I mean, these are the type of people you want to work in our economy. And talking to them, they understood there was one college, Williston. They didn't understand Dickinson was just down the road, that Dickinson had openings at space. They didn't understand Minot had programs. And so this is an information campaign to explain to them that within about an hour of where they are, they can get to one of our campuses. And depending on what college they may have already taken or what they did in high school, maybe they need some remedial courses, maybe they need gen eds, or maybe they can go right into one of our programs tailored toward energy-related certificates, that this program will get the word out to them. Part of the program is a website, bachanu.ndus.edu, where they can go to one page and see the links to the 5 different colleges that are in the western part of the state. And we've already got people at those schools alerted that these calls may be coming in. And if they're not the right fit, that they can direct them to somebody who might have a better fit or space in their program. So that's what it is, this first phase, is information, a portal, and people trying to help guide the workforce we want to keep in our state. If it can help keep younger people or mid-career people in our state, that even though the job opportunities are drying up, that they begin to explore their educational opportunities in our state. We've got a highly ranked education system. Again, talking with some of these people on the front line, they didn't even realize the significant breadth of our system. So keeping them in the state right now, workers and population that otherwise leave. The other benefit it could be is if there's a prolonged period where oil is down, that the retraining might lead them to other industries that need people. And we're talking about 20,000 plus shortfall in jobs. Some of these people who've worked in the oil field in high intensity, complex technologies that require discipline, attention, they can be retrained or re-educated to work in other industries, high-tech industries. So it can help there. And then again, it might actually become a model for oil workers around the country that begin to see, hey, North Dakota's a place to go to in the down times. Come up here, pay for college, move into some of our towns, and when oil comes back, because we've got some of the biggest oil fields in the country now, they'll be in close proximity when they can move back into the traditional fields of work. The North Dakota University system is a system, and we have a strategy. I call it C squared, like SEA squared. We want a super system that can work as a system, excellent equipping of our students, but it's accessible and affordable. What I see this doing is, this is an example of our colleges working as a system. Right now, Williston is having a large influx of students, perhaps it could be high school students, but maybe oil workers are being laid off, that's exceeding their capacity. They were about to start closing classes out. So we now can, as a subsystem, these 5 colleges, help respond to that as a system that one college alone couldn't respond to. As far as excellent equipping in the future, these are workers that have come to North Dakota. They've been here for several years in some cases, that we provide an excellent program for them in maybe their general education. Maybe they're going to want to go into some liberal arts courses at Dickinson and then come back to the technical courses later. But providing them an excellent foundation as an educated, trained workforce that's got some time on their hands. The third part of it is accessibility, that we need to be accessible to these students, and we've got 5 well-positioned colleges, but we've got online courses too that are accessible where they need it. Affordability, we're still working on that. This also helps affordability because, as you perhaps read, Williston has some pretty high costs. It's the cost of property, the cost of building, just cost of living in general. Well, some of the areas are lower cost. It's lower cost at Minot and Bismarck, so if they take some courses or if they're able to relocate, go to a lower cost area where the education is more economical for them. So it fits into all of our strategy and just shows adaptability, that we see things changing and we make the effort to reorient part of our system to meet the needs of the workforce where it is now.